We wanted to shoot train going over our head. Being idiots that we were, we found a place, little gadda on the rail, I mean the patries, and he put the camera.
I'm visualizing like a kache dhage sort of a scene.
Arey yaar, mat pucho, it was too much. You don't get the impact till the thing comes right over you and it just goes and you can chaka 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 it's going. And you know what I'm seeing?
ये कहानियाँ किसी स्क्रिप्ट राइटर ने नहीं लिखी हैं। ये असली ज़िंदगियों के वो पन्ने हैं जो वक्त के साथ कहीं छुप गए हैं। ये सीरीज़ एक सफ़र है पुरानी यादों, नए नज़रियों और जीने के असली जज्बे का। हमारे आज के एपिसोड में हम मिलेंगे मिस्टर दिलीप घोष से, एक ऐसे आर्टिस्ट जिन्होंने अपनी सारी ज़िंदगी दिल से जी है, चाहे वक्त उनके साथ था या खिलाफ। उनके 70 साल के इस सफ़र में उन्होंने बस काम नहीं पर दुनिया भर नाम कमाया अपनी सोच और कर्तव्य से। 1980s और 90s में उन्होंने अपने एडवर्टीजमेंट्स और फिल्म से इंडियन एडवर्टाइजिंग को एक नया रुख दिया। 700 से ज़्यादा एड फिल्म्स, एक नेशनल अवार्ड विनिंग डॉक्यूमेंट्री और कमांडो जैसे हिट पिक्चर बनाने वाले दिलीप घोष आज भी अपने आने वाले हर एक प्रोजेक्ट को उसी जुनून और जिज्ञासा से जीते हैं। चलिए आज सुनते हैं एक और अनसुनी कहानी, उनके ज़माने में ना हमारे ज़माने में।
But honestly, I think when you and I had last spoken,
Yeah.
you had very interestingly told me that Abir happened very late in your life.
Yeah.
What was like the story to it?
Nothing.
Like, why did you decide to have him so late?
Why? Because one was very busy working, yeah.
Okay.
There's so much. We never had time because we didn't want to keep a maid servant or an ayah to look after a child. So we decided to do it ourselves. More than me, it was Shibani, because for her it was like, I must spend time with my child.
Correct.
Therefore, I have to give up my career for at least 10 years.
I agree.
So once she took that call, then we had a child.
And what
missed the bus.
what age did you end up?
अब यह तू कैलकुलेट कर यार, अब पता नहीं है.
Roughly around
40 something.
45, 46.
What are you saying?
Yeah.
You were 45 when Abir happened.
अच्छा अच्छा खाना वाना खाते हैं ना. अभी तक दम है. अभी भी दम है.
And Shibani auntie?
She was 15 5 less. She was just cut to cut.
So there were no complications that happened around the delivery.
No, fortunately.
You know, I very vividly remember this conversation about how you had said that you and auntie were quote unquote featured in one of the newspapers as the dink couple. What was like, how did it happen? Why did it happen?
Why did it happen means what here? Somebody called me up from Times of India and they through another friend who was a journalist, Khalid Muhammad.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, it was Khalid. So he said, hey, I know of this couple who are double income but no kids. So I said, okay, could be fun.
Okay.
So they wanted some photographs. So I gave them photograph was chilling out on Baga Beach in Goa. So that was actually, they put that very photograph in that. One thing one doesn't know about him, he's a fabulous painter.
Interesting.
He is really a fabulous painter, you know. I keep on telling him, yeah, you should have an exhibition of your work because he's really good. I think it's very, very good.
So Khalid is the one who painted your story in the papers.
No, he didn't paint. Someone else, one of his junior wrote that.
Okay.
Because Khalid was, I think, already into Filmfare. He was the editor of Filmfare, I think, at that time.
Okay.
So he was doing other things. He did a lot of interviews with me,
Okay.
you know, which is all over the place. And he fortunately likes the kind of work I do.
But you know, you spoke about, again, around the topic of double income, no kids. Like maybe एक दौर से गुजर रहा हूँ कि मेरी भी इस समय डबल इनकम है और नो किड्स हैं, आप जानते ही हो. when did you get that realization that एक कमी है, या there's a vacuum in my life that I want something beyond that?
See, vacuum has been there always.
Okay.
But we had to take a practical call. More than me, she had to take that call. Ki, look, I will take a break for 10 years minimum. And it's another matter that she took a break for 20 years. Because making this child, it's a full-time job.
Correct.
So that's how it happened. I mean, we always wanted to have a kid or two. I mean, we don't plan anything. It's nothing planned, But we knew that our time is, like more than
Like
me.
this is
her.
now is the time.
Yeah. So, and by that time you had made sufficient money, so at least 2 generations can be looked after. Then you say, okay, let's have it.
You spoke about making sufficient money, right? But the question is, even getting into before you started making the money, where did you find your honey, which is Shivani auntie? How did both of you happen?
She was already working in Bombay as a production assistant. And I had just come to Bombay from FTI. My life journey, my professional life journey has been much easier because I was very high profile as a student in FTI.
Okay.
Because my student film and all those had gone abroad and got awards, and it's quite nice. So when I came to Bombay, we have this what you call trade show, where you showcase your work and you call the people from the industry, to see if you can get picked up. Wishful thinking, that's another matter.
Correct.
So there I got picked up by a woman called Tina Khote. She is a Polish woman who was daughter-in-law of this woman called Durga Khote, a very famous actor of her time.
Okay.
And they had a production company called Durga Khote Production. And she offered me, he said, would you like to work for us? Manna from heaven, you have just come down. I said, sure. And that's how I didn't even know what advertising was. I had no idea about advertising. I mean, technically I knew what advertising film was, but I never expected that I'll be doing advertising films. I was more interested in doing feature films. And she offered me my first advertising film. She gave me some money and told me there's a film to be done in Chennai with Hindustan Thompson, and literally threw me into the water and expected me to swim, and I did it. I came out with flying colors. Then I realized, shit, it's so easy to make advertising films, And she gave me some $1,500, and those days was not a big amount, but
Yeah. Which year are we talking?
82.
Interesting.
Yeah, 82. I came out from FTI in 81, 82, end of 81. I did so-called proverbial struggling. It never happened in my life. I'm still struggling, that's another matter. But, like, घिस के इधर उधर घूमता, वो एकदम नहीं हुआ मेरे साथ.
No, but one thing I really need to give it to you, that how conveniently you digress the question from me wanting to know your love story or your story with Shivani.
You wanted
aunty.
to know a love story, okay. Love story was we met, we got attracted, and then what?
Are you sure?
Yeah, we started bonking,
Okay.
and that was good enough.
But while obviously I'm saying this to somewhere just pull your leg, it also happened to be that she told me
Very heavy legs.
it also happened to me that she very categorically happened to somewhere thank you a lot for what you did to her in terms of pushed her towards studying cinema.
I did.
So probably, honestly, I'm just more curious in terms of how did that happen? How did you end up?
Nothing, there's no big deal here. She was very good in her work. She was doing production. And I was just a budding filmmaker, just come from FTI, very high profile, making advertising films, etc., etc. So I told her, why wasting your time doing just production work? Because I think you're capable of doing much more. So you take up something which would, put you in a better place. So I didn't take much time to convince her. I told her it's not that tough. if your aptitude is correct, you'll get it. And she decided to do film editing, and she got in first shot.
So if I were to get my timeline right, you went to FTII, finished your course over there, came to Bombay, met her here, convinced her to go to FTII. She finished her course, and then she came back to Bombay,
Yes,
and then you all were in constant touch.
we were in constant touch right throughout. Right from the time we knew each other, then she was in FTI, we were together, in a sense.
But what really grew onto both of you that you all decided to get married?
I have no idea,
It just happened.
honestly. I really have no idea. It was quite natural, because didn't think about it or, didn't plan that, well, let's do this. Let me tell you something. My life has been like a flow. Nothing has been planned in my life.
Just happened.
Everything has just happened, including filmmaking. I was studying law. I did my commerce, accountancy honors. Don't ask me what is debit, credit. Till date I get confused. That's another matter. That's how, yeah.
नहीं तो आप बता रहे हो कि you wanted to do law. When
I was
you-
doing law. I was studying law.
But when you were a kid, if you ask us as kids, or rather when I was a kid, if you asked me back in the day what I wanted to become, all of us wanted to become a cricketer, wanted to
I
join
wanted
the
to
army.
become an astronaut.
That's what you wanted to.
Yes.
Okay.
Probably I didn't know the meaning of what is an astronaut, but to me the word was nice.
Yeah, I think all of us felt that sort
Yeah,
of
it was nice. So I
zing.
said, okay, I want to be an astronaut, So everyone was shocked, including my mum. See, I talk always in terms of my mum because I have had almost no influence of my father. I was just 5 years old when my father expired, So I was brought up by my mum. So I owe everything to her. Everything.
Would it be okay us rewinding or probably going back to your childhood days? What was childhood like? If you can recall you being that 7-8-year-old son in that house, what was that house like?
Fabulous. I actually had a very magical childhood. You see, one thing my mum did, when my dad died, I was 5 years old. So she knew that if I stayed in Kolkata, maybe I will not have the right parvarish. So she put me in a boarding school in Darjeeling.
Was she a working woman or was she a
Not
homemaker?
at all, she's a housewife.
Okay.
Vernacular housewife. She doesn't speak English or anything, but very wise woman.
Okay.
Very wise. So she put us in this fancy school in Darjeeling. And I was quite comfortable studying in that school. It was a very privileged kind of school. So, that's it. So I used to come down for my holidays for 3 months in Kolkata. Otherwise, I was happy being there. I don't know why, I was quite happy. I never really, had this homesick feeling. Not really. I missed my mom. She would come and visit us during summer vacation and all that. But yeah, I was quite happy in school.
Did you have siblings?
I have one younger brother who was also with me in school. He's 5 years younger than me. He was just born when my dad died. And I have an elder brother who was about 9 years older than me. He is no more.
Okay.
And that's it.
So all three of you in the same boarding school?
He wasn't. Because he was older, I thought he was studying in Kolkata.
So obviously being someone who has been a full-time boarding school student and you know how it is to lead a life in a boarding school, how come you never ended up sending Abir or ever thought of?
What makes you think I didn't send Abir?
That's because you knew the reality of
The
it.
bloody hell, I sent him there. He was in Rishi Valley.
Okay.
One of the really a good school. He revolted. He was back within a year. Even he was actually revolted, but we couldn't pull him out because they said no. Give him that space. Let him complete a academic year. And he was adamant. He's a very stubborn guy. He was adamant. He didn't study.
Was he adamant or was he attached?
Both. He was attached because he missed us terribly. And two, if he takes a call on something, he'll make sure he'll do it. Even till date he's like that. Very adamant.
obviously, you know, you went through boarding school. Obviously, once you're by yourself in a boarding school, you're automatically detached. Like you're used to
I don't know if
living.
I'll call myself detached, but I was definitely became independent.
Got it.
I was independent. I was independent from a very young age
Got it.
because I knew I couldn't fall back on anything,
Got it.
you know. And I come from a very modest middle class family. We had sufficient, but not enough to pull through always. So
Right.
I knew right from a very young age that I had to look after the family. Because my elder brother was a bit of a maverick.
Got it.
He got involved in politics and all that. So
Okay.
he was not the family kind. So the whole responsibility of the family, whatever it is, not financially, but you know, emotionally and whatever, fell onto me at a very young age. I was made to feel responsible, and I was responsible from very young age.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But you know, you also sometime back said that the way your life has rolled out itself, it's just flown, or rather, it's been very fluid, right? But there are two ways of it. Like, if you ask me, even like to an extent, even my life has happened in a very not so planned manner. कि मुझे करना maths honors था. Ended up, I'm sitting right in front of you here today.
Sure.
But did you let your emotions decide your path forward, or were they more of logical decisions which just seemed right at the right time?
To tell you the truth, I didn't give it much of a thought. I just did it. It attracted me because in college, I was in Xavier's, Kolkata. I joined the film club where I was exposed to all kinds of cinema. And then I realized, shit, there is more to life than Hindi cinema and Hollywood cinema. You know, it was like, wow. Half the things I didn't understand, but I knew there was another world, and that world which attracted a lot of pretty women.
Interesting.
It's
Okay.
true, it's true.
Fair, at that age, it's also.
Yeah. All the best looking girls were in the film club, yeah. So there was another incentive for us to join the film club.
It desired a good looking boy also to join the club, is it?
I don't know about all that. I'll not commit on that.
Okay.
But, well, at that young age, your testosterone is very high. So one of the incentives was there are pretty girls. And I also enjoyed different kind of cinema. So that was it.
So that was your literally your first
First
taste,
tryst
or rather first.
with international cinema.
Okay.
Particularly French cinema, because we were affiliated to Alliance. So they would show us French films every weekend. So that was a part of the deal. Also, our head, Gaston Robage, was a padri, French padri, or Belgian padri, whatever. He was also interested in, you know, showing us French films. So, yeah, so that was it.
So do you also credit that film club to where you are today?
Partially, yes, sure. I mean, it was my first ticket,
Correct.
you know. And then what happened? More interesting question would have been, how did I join Film Institute? Of
I was
all
actually
places?
getting there. Like,
I mean, what the hell, you
I
know?
was actually getting there.
Again, by accident. I
No,
didn't
but
apply.
after film club, law continued.
Yeah.
So you got a BLLB degree.
No! I gave it up in first year.
You dropped
The
out.
moment I got my selection and I was selected, I got a national scholarship and all that, you know. So everything was free. I didn't tell my parents. My mom and Nawat said they will not understand, you know. So when I got my scholarship and I didn't have to pay any money, so
That's a medal in itself. It's an honor in
yeah,
itself.
man. I don't know what the honor, but anyway, I never took myself seriously. Even till date, I don't take myself seriously. I mean, it's a kind of a nature. It's not that I don't do my work seriously, but taking me, myself, the personality, I don't take it too seriously. I just let it flow. So that was it. And even FTI, a friend of mine in the college hostel, just to pull my leg, he applied for me.
Don't make up stories.
I'm not joking.
You're a storyteller. I know you can't make up the
I'm
story.
not joking. Lucifer actually did, I don't know where the hell that guy, he was a Jew guy. He put in his application for me And he kept on teasing me, you go to film club, now you're going to become filmy and all that. I didn't believe him. Yeah.
So Lucifer was your friend from Xavier's?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know where Lucy is today. No idea. I get a letter. He had written everything, my hostel address and everything, where I was supposed to sit for an exam, selection exam. So I said, okay, let's do it, let's see. I went for the exams. I got a 0 in general knowledge. I don't know who was the Prime Minister of Mauritius or something like that. I'm not interested in. I didn't apply for the paper. And there were 2 other papers. One was what you call aptitude test, and the other was what you call that A plus B plus C and comes to how much. What I don't know what test is that. Is that
Algebra?
yeah, all that whatever it is I was pretty okay with that. So I got very high marks in that, and I was very good. In fact, I got very good marks in aptitude, in the sense, I'll just give you an example. There was a photograph in the question paper, and it said, imagine this is the last scene of your story. Write a story how it came to that stage.
Came to being, yeah.
That was good enough.
And
So
you
I
put
could-
yourself out in that.
I just went to berserk doing that. That was one. Another one was, from the time you woke up in the morning till you came to the exam hall, what are the sounds and picture you can recollect in chronological order? So I did it. This kind of things which requires no knowledge. I had no idea about cinema, whose director is who's that. No, I didn't even study anything. Surprisingly, I got called for the interview in Pune. I said, okay, I'll go for the interview. So I went for the interview. Interview went off very well. Whatever, I don't know. Must have gone very well. And they asked me some question like, do you watch films? I said, I just watched a few films. And do you take photographs? I said, well, not really. I have a click 3 camera. In those days, there was a popular camera called click 3. You just click. So whatever pictures comes out of that. So I was very underplaying it. And I think that helped me. And another thing, they asked me, what kind of movies you would like to make? So God knows who told me that I'll make films for children. That selected me actually.
So it was an instinct that.
Instinct, absolutely instinct, on the spot.
So obviously you turned out to be a very varied profile or a unique profile even for the people on the other side.
And you know what's the surprising part of it?
It ended up.
My first film was Children of the Silver Screen. Again, it was not planned, it just happened.
Can I get a little philosophical if you don't mind?
Okay, I don't mind. Or do you want to get into Sartre or you want to get
No,
into
I'm not
Russell?
not that deep.
I don't know,
But then, like पूर्वज कहते थे, पापा भी कहते हैं that तुम्हारी कहानी पहले से लिखी हुई है, तुम बस में उसमें एक हिस्सेदार हो.
एक सवारी हो, हाँ.
Correct. पर जब ये सब होता है, do you agree to it that is this all just hearsay or is this actually making sense?
Well, to tell you the truth, I think it makes sense, but I've still not comprehended fully. It happens.
You should just let it happen, not overthink.
I don't spend much time on it. It happens. But I don't oppose it.
Yeah.
You know, I don't
Yeah.
oppose it at all.
But now that when you look back, I'm guessing you were born in the 50s?
55.
Now that we are sitting in 2005, it's almost 7 decades later. Do you visualize a life that could have been different?
No.
Had you made different choices?
No. Absolutely no. I'm quite happy.
No, I'm not saying you regret your life or certain decisions.
I never thought of. That's what I'm saying. I never planned anything. Yaar. That so-called being an astronaut, I think it died by the time I left school. So back to square one. I didn't even think of it. You know, our generation is not like as astute as this one's generation. We just let it flow, man. Whatever came. And see, there's also another interesting reason. I didn't have a father. So I had no one to guide me. No one to mentor me. You get the point? Maybe that could have changed the course of my life. I don't know. So whatever decisions I took. And mom always supported me. She believed in me, thank God. I can't pay much, I can't say that, oh, I planned this and this happened. Nothing, yaar. Bas, यूं ही हो गया.
I've been meaning to ask you this since the time I've got to know about it, but I don't know. You can choose not to answer it as well if you wouldn't want to. Today you're the father of a very good-looking, confident son, and you've also been a son at some point of time. It's about how you spoke about you never had a mentor or you never had a guiding force to, pave your path. Do you miss that sort of fatherly energy or that one energy that sort of, becomes a guiding light or someone whom you could just go to? एक होता है ना, एक बाप होता है. You know what I'm trying to say? Like माँ का अपना एक role होता है.
I'll be very frank. Sorry to disappoint you. I never had this feeling. I believe in myself the most. And I feel my guidance has been my mother's support.
I don't think it's about disappointment, or it's just about me wanting to understand how it felt.
No, I never felt like that. Never felt short that, I wish I had a mentor or something. Maybe it would have been fabulous if I had one. But I didn't miss it at all.
Got it. I somewhere feel you ended up becoming that sort of a guiding force for the rest of your siblings or for the rest of your extended family.
Possibly. And the people who have worked with me and, like whole lot of people. I just got recently, after so many years, one of my, you can call that, whatever, who used to work with me, he sent me a lovely hand-painted Saraswati. So lovely. And he said, thank you for being my guiding force and putting me into the... I couldn't believe, I started crying, yeah. And we have not been in touch for the last 30 years, I think. And he is now today a fairly well-known filmmaker, and I was quite happy. Ram Madhvani, I don't know if you know of Ram. Ram sent me I was shocked, It feels that, look, he did, when he was working for me, obviously I must have touched him somewhere, I don't know. So it's like that, there have been very many people, Like I get this Guru Purnima, during Guru Purnima, a lot of people send me this thing, oh, you have been a guiding force. It makes me feel good, that's it. But I don't go overboard on it. I wish I could send to somebody to be my guru. Nobody.
Correct. Do you look at the mirror and give it to yourself?
No, I don't. Because I don't take myself seriously.
Yeah, that's what, I was just obviously there.
I don't do it.
You spoke about how, there have been a lot of people who've deeply been influenced by you, but they also belong to a certain era. Over the years, as the society has evolved and how the current generation works, do you feel that the current generation does not, is not probably as loyal or probably is not as, they're confident. There's a sense of being confident and there's a sense of giving a person's due of the role that they have had in your life. Because the reason I'm asking is because you also teach, you also are around the newer generation.
Sure. Huge attitude difference. I find today's generation, they are in a hurry. I don't know what for. So I keep on telling them, if you are in a hurry, by the time you'll be 30, you'll be burnt out here. There'll be nothing left for you to do further. So why are you in a hurry? Second, I find they're very confident, which is a fabulous thing to have. The foundation is not strong. The foundation is not strong at all. So I say, how do you build yourself a career or whatever, any vocation you want to do, when your foundation is not very strong? You need to, that will take us too much of time, sir. I say, you have all the time in the world, yeah. You are just 17, 18 years old. So I find that a bit amiss, I think. But I must admit, they're far, far smarter than us. In my age at that time, they're much more sharper. Okay, may not be as knowledgeable in terms of literature or philosophy, and may not have that much of strong sense of aesthetics in terms of art, and they don't care much about it anyway. They don't care much about it. They think it's a waste of time. Anyway, that's their way of looking at life. But I strongly feel that make the foundation strong, it will make them a super people, supermen. What we in Bengali call it bhitti, means foundation, you know.
मतलब मेरे को ऐसा लगता है अगर तुम्हारी फाउंडेशन ही कमजोर है तो इमारत भी
वही बात है ना, बात तो वही है ना. अब मैक्सिमम क्या 3 माला 4 माला का बिल्डिंग बनाओगे, उसके ऊपर गिर जाएगा बिल्डिंग. वो समझता नहीं है. और मे बी दैट विल कम टू देम आफ्टर अ सर्टेन पॉइंट, मे बी.
ठोकरे खाएंगे.
हाँ, वो तो है. Like at this age, I still feel that I'm not fully complete in terms of knowledge, you know. I still look for things. Yeah. But they feel यार बहुत हो गया यार, अभी पार्टी करना है. हाँ, पार्टी भी करो, हम भी किया, बहुत पार्टी किया. But that's not the end all, you know. And when you talk about loyalty, I don't think so. I can't give a general comment that they are less loyal.
No, I didn't mean it literally in the loyal sense. Just the fact that even the example that you gave, the regard being around for that, this person meant a lot in that person's life, and that person having that regard for life. If I were to rephrase what I'm saying, is more like what you see is what you get. When that person's not around, you forget that person as well. That sort of a space is what I'm understanding, or whatever I've been able to observe.
Honestly, I don't dismiss the youth. I think there's much more to it. Maybe they'll not be able to express themselves, but I think because they have a certain amount of intelligence, they'll come out of it.
Fair.
They'll make
I
the
think
life, you know.
for someone who is like you said yourself, that you've been around
Yeah.
students of that age.
Yes.
I'm obviously sensing that you must be gauging the energy that
Yeah.
must be.
See, every class will have a quota of,
Yeah, that's
pardon
true.
me, chutiyas.
Correct.
वो हर जगह में होता है.
हम भी थे.
हाँ, वही तो बात है ना. तो ऐसी कौन सी बड़ी बात है?
Correct.
So ठीक है. But generally, see, because I take when I do these workshops, especially the one which I start with ideation to the completion, I try to do it in a 10 days time or 12 days time or whatever, you know. And the kind of work which comes out, some of them are astonishing. Really. They're very, very good.
Given that you've obviously, I'm guessing in the recent past also been taking a lot of sessions, how much are they depending on AI for their sort of?
There goes Shah Rukh Khan.
I'm sure his bungalow is right around.
Yeah, right here. He all the time taking a helicopter and going here.
But how much are they depending on AI for their sort of ideation, execution? What comes? You know what I'm trying to get at?
A lot of people who shortcut करता है. But I've also was attracted to AI, so I checked out, and I realized even for AI, you have to have sufficient knowledge.
True.
You have to give the right input. So that way, AI is actually a slave. It's a duffer.
True, it's a tool. Like that's what you put it. You know, आप बोल रहे थे कि क्लास में ऐसे बहुत जने भी होते हैं जिनको हम कुछ कहते हैं. आई एम श्योर आप भी अपनी ज़िंदगी में कभी ना कभी irresponsible या you had a side to you which wanted to, live free, have a more open life than just being a responsible guy. Or did you never have that?
Professionally or personally?
Personally.
Personally, yes, you're right. But professionally, no.
I didn't even like.
I'm
talking
a
about your
bore
college
as
years.
far as a profession is. I'm astute like that. But personal life, sure. Man.
क्योंकि मुझे याद है जब आप लोग के एरा में, like my dad also happens to be a 57 born, he told me that the entire hippie culture, the entire influence of the Beatles, the Morrisons of the world, like you just said sometime back, drugs, sex, rock and roll were like at its peak at that point of time. Sure. How influenced were you by the environment around you at that point of time?
100%.
You were one of them.
Completely. But I didn't lose my sense of responsibility. Like, I've done a lot of drugs, but I never went off track. So most of my friends tell me, "Tu kaisa aadmi hai re? We all do it together, but you have never gone off track." I said, "Kya karu? I have nothing to fall back on, so I have to be responsible for myself."
And it's only good to try things out, experience it and move on.
More than trying it. Come on, man. I think I've smoked so much of dope in my life. It's not hard drugs, soft drugs. I think cumulatively I must have smoked about 20-30 kilos. I'm not joking. I was a heavy smoker, very heavy smoker. I would get up in the morning and I'll have 2 or 3 joints before I could go for a shit. Yeah. And it was that kind of a thing. But I never was drooled or drugged out. And I used to go for my meetings and everything, for my shooting. I used to smoke all the time. I just was in control.
Can I ask you a technical question?
Yes. And it never showed on my face because I have a chubby face. It never showed.
Never showed.
You see, I'm come from a very insecure, economically insecure. That is one of the reasons why I have made so much. So many properties, so many, whatever, you know, monies here and there. It's because of a certain insecurity, I think, if I have to analyze myself. I always knew I couldn't fall back on anybody. It had to be me. I couldn't depend on my brother. I couldn't depend on my parents, my mother, because we are just about enough for ourselves. So whatever I had to do it myself. So that gave me a sense of kind of a responsibility to ensure that, you know, I don't screw up that aspect of my life.
You're basically very empathetic around people and whoever you worked with.
Yes, very much.
So the reason why I want to contradict with you on this bit is because while you're saying that sort of gap, if I were to put a word and not insecurity to it, while you filled it up with assets around you, from whatever I've known you as a person, you're not a person who's attached to all of it.
None of it.
आज है कल नहीं है आपको नहीं
चलेगा,
फर्क पड़ेगा.
कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा. It's true.
How is it even possible for a person who's literally given his entire life to build, to earn and to grow it, और कल अगर चले जाएगा तो उस बात का कोई गिला शिकवा नहीं है?
नहीं है. As a kid, in one of my Bengali lessons, while studying Tagore, there was one particular chapter which really made an impact on me. This I must have been about class 7 or 8 or something like that. Shabolombi. Now how do I say Shabo? তুমি তো জানবে না, তুমি তো বাঙালি নয়. জানো তো? Shabolombi means self-dependent. Shabolombi. And Poromukho Pekha Bekti means who depends on others. These 2 words actually made a huge impact on me. So much so that I used to write it in my notebook, you know, Shabolombi and Poromukha Pekha Bekti, and what is the positive and what is the negative. That must have had an impact on me if I look back on it, you know.
It was ingrained in you.
It was ingrained in me.
I genuinely feel like आप ये कह रहे हो मुझे वो सुन के ही ऐसा खुद फील हो रहा है कि maybe these 2 words might impact me.
Should. So, because honestly, it really genuinely, you know, Ishan, made a world of a difference to me, to myself, you know. If you are Shabolombi, if you are, you know, if you are independent, fuck, there's nothing. That's for me is liberation in my mind. And not being dependent on anybody is something I don't want to be tied down to, be a slave to. The strong words, it did impact my life. Now that you are talking about it, I'm telling you.
No, even with the zeal that you're saying it with.
No, it's true.
Very deeply.
No, it's true. I actually, even till date, I feel it.
And what's your coping mechanism whenever it does end up happening?
Get objective. Simple.
Don't emotionally attach yourself to what's happening.
Oh, in my life professionally, I've been taken for super rides. Oh my God, like I'll never be a partner in my life. Because I've been really taken for a ride, not once, not twice, 3 times. Literally wiped me out. Okay. I never went into depression or anything. I said, I'll come out of it. And I came out of it very easily. That's why I say someone is protecting me, you know. I do have a protection.
I've known you to be fabulous. Like since I have met you, just the way you're passionate about life and just the way you're passionate about whatever you say. It's very rare to find energies like you around.
My lord, ये point note किया जाए.
You ended up finding your first stint in Bombay, which was an advertising film.
Yeah.
Which year was this?
End of 81, because I passed out from film school by 81. In another 2-3 weeks I got work.
And FTI gave you
Oh,
the
fabulous.
perfect launch pad.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, it was like bang on.
I've also heard your diploma film was on a very interesting subject.
Very interesting. My
Oh, no,
diploma
no.
film, my song picturization, my documentary. I was very high profile in the campus.
So ये जो high profile student है,
And nobody expected that I'll do bloody advertising because looked down upon.
yeah, I'm sure at that time.
Looked down upon. Advertising. Dilip, Ghosh, you've fucking gone wrong or what happened? I said, boss, it doesn't matter. One thing which attracted me to advertising, that it was nameless. Matlab, my name was not there, directed by Dilip Ghosh. You know what I mean?
You liked it.
No, I didn't like it. I mean, I liked the fact that my name was not there.
You were anonymous.
Yes, I loved it.
Very unlike.
No, I loved it because in my heart and to my friends, I was doing something which is below, whatever you call it. Later on, I mean, at one point I did believe a bit, but later on I said, balls here, what's wrong with you? Yaar?" Because what advertising gave me, that from a lohar, I became a sonar. Kasam se. So I owe a lot to advertising because I'm very meticulous in my image making. And that comes from my discipline in advertising, definitely.
But I'm again, like I said, we are eventually going to get into your life as person behind advertising and what happened in India at that point of time. But I genuinely want to know about that diploma film that you had made. Who was the cast in that?
You know,
What was
Dilip
the
Sahil?
subject? Yes.
Dilip was the actor. It was originally to be played by Nasiruddin Shah,
Okay.
but Nasir got some assignment with Benegal at that or something.
So Nasir was your peer, was your senior? Was he
Who?
your...
Much senior.
Okay.
Much senior. It's about 5-6 years senior. He did my film, my what you call a dialogue exercise, which you call it, but it's actually a mini diploma film, which you do it at the end of 3 years. I did a 5-year course, 3 years of integration and 2 years of specialization. And I specialized in film editing, script writing and direction. Actually editing I didn't specialize in, but it came as a default. So I edited my own films because I knew all the disciplines, so it was okay.
So from what I know is this entire film that you had made with Mr.
Tahil and Anjali Paigankar, yeah.
I've heard it had a very, very interesting narrative. Very, very
Possibly,
interesting. What was the
yeah.
story about?
देख लो ना, मैं तुमको भेज देता हूँ, भेज देता हूँ, मेरे पास नहीं है फिर.
इसलिए मैं जानना चाहता हूँ.
मेरे पास नहीं, I'll tell you where it. It's there in the archive.
I believe you had literally shown the delivery of a baby and.
Oh, that was my song picturization.
So what? That's why I'm trying to ask
that
you.
was,
What
that was not my diploma film.
So what is the story with
That one was.
It's fine. Obviously,
it's a bit naive.
It's
at
fine.
This thing.
You're a college student.
No, I'm fine.
Yeah.
I'm fine. It was about, the film starts with a baby being born, literally. Close up of the vagina and that pops the head. Cut to, the camera becomes the baby's eyes.
POV.
POV. And you see that baby going through the whole gamut of life, including death, including war. I actually organized a war of 15 minutes. They gave me ammunition for 15 minutes and asked me to do whatever I could do with it. I did it. These things you do when you are a kid, yeah. I mean, and also FTI and my influencing the army and Southern Command and all that. So I did all that. And at the end of it, the camera decides it's not a world worth living. And it goes back into the mother's womb. And then there is a total eclipse. That was the concept and that was the film. 3.5, 4 minutes.
I actually have goosebumps the way you.
Yeah, it's nice, it's on, and it's got a soundtrack of Jim Morrison, it's got soundtrack of many other craft work and many other, just edited and kind of, collage the sounds, and I put the images accordingly. Very dynamic, very fast moving images. Today is every Tom, Dick and Harry does it. At that time it was like there's one sequence I had, I was shooting inside a morgue with all dead bodies lying around, you know. People were running out of the theatre and puking and all that shit. Yeah. Like you guys came and you'll set up your camera and all that. And there I was shooting in the Sassoon Hospital in Pune, and they put up all the lights and all that. So they check na, the lights are coming on or not. So this light was on and it was on the wall of that morgue. Suddenly I noticed the wall is alive. It's moving like this, the wall. So I go close. It's a thick carpet of maggots. You know maggots? It's full of maggots, that whole place. Can you imagine? With that kind of an image, and the stink in a morgue is something you can't even imagine. It's so. In spite of that, I shot that thing. So that was one image I'll never forget. And there's another image I'll never forget. When I was shooting that baby being born, it was too much. We have set the camera, you know, our legs are stretched, and you know, doctors or whatever they're doing, and they're trying to take out the baby is trying to come out, it's not coming out. You know what the doctor did? He took a कैंची and just did like that and snipped her vagina, man, so that it opened up, and it was here, not even that far, the camera is much closer, and the whole thing came out. And after that what is that called, the bladder, that where water is there, you know, that also came out and it splashed on the floor and it burst and it was all over her face, man. I can't tell you.
Certain visuals that never leave.
I'll never leave me. I was able to hold on. My cameraman wasn't. He collapsed like that. So I held on and I held him. I said, chalo, shot to le lete hai. We finished that. That was one image I'll never forget. In the same shooting, and a lot of dramatic things, we wanted to shoot something, the train going over our head. Being idiots that we were, never expected what will happen. So we found a place, little gadda on the rail, the patries, and he put the camera and was shooting the train coming. You know, when it is far,
I'm visualizing like a kache dhage sort of a scene.
Arey yaar, mat pucho, it was too much. You don't get the impact till the thing comes right over you and it just goes and you can chaka 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 is going. And you know what I'm seeing? My hair, that rail ka ye, that is touching me like this. Like this. Means if I
Move
do an inch, even half an inch, we are dead.
So you literally been below a train to shoot a shot.
Yes, of course.
Well, this was an ad film or for what?
No, the same bloody film. It was too ambitious, yeah. Because the camera, the baby had to go through every shit in life.
Correct. So it had to be from his POV.
Yes. So I did whatever. Mat pucho, yaar.
That also makes you love. That's also your love for the art that took you into such.
पता नहीं यार, ये तो बाद में analyze art and all that. That time you're just doing it because you think it's quite dynamic to do it. You do it. That's it.
But the sort of adoration or the sort of things people must have said about the film when it released. What were the sort of reviews you heard?
Well, people still remember it. It's now almost 50 years. They still remember it. It was very well received everywhere, abroad. Going to a lot of festivals, and that's what I'm saying. That by the time I came out of the institute, I was a little bit of that. So I got my work also like that.
Yeah.
Fast, and then one led to another. It's like that. So that way I was much more privileged, if you can call it that. Not that there are less talented students in my class. It's just that it happened to be that I did the best.
But you earned that privilege.
Yeah. Of course. But I didn't design it. It just happened. Ho gaya. And one thing led to another. And I was solely missing a house. Bombay mein PG mein rahunga. Sawal hi paida nahi hota. So within a year and a half, I bought my first flat. See, this kind of things I had in my mind, because I knew these are my negatives. I had to, overcome it, So it was like that kind of a stuff. I paid what? 145 in those days for a one-bedroom house. Great fun. Had my own space. And then I realized that it's nice to have your own space. You can do more, you can do this, you can do that.
It
And
also
then,
comes from the fact that you always wanted to be self-dependent.
yeah. And then I stretched it because in my mind I said, okay, I'll do advertising for 15 years. That was probably I thought in my mind. After that I'll shift to feature films in my mind, But then one thing led to another. Probably I become a little more greedy in terms of earning money. So that 15 years became 20, 25 years, Then I said, fuck, what am I doing, man? Let me get out of it. That's the time I decided to do Children of the Silver Screen. That happened also because of a personal experience, While I was shooting, I think Colgate with children, and I was over-directing my little boy, or little girl, I don't even remember. I think it was a girl. And in those days, there was no dubbing like that. So you had to speak the languages. So
Again and
her
again in different languages.
testimony was in speaking in different languages. I think she flipped. Every time you say it's okay and you're making me do one more time, she just screamed. We all came to a standstill. I said, stop the camera. I said, pack up. I'm not going to shoot this because I felt seriously guilty about doing that, But her mother was saying, no, it's okay, she'll be okay and okay. But I then realized it was the mother who was more ambitious than the fucking kid, man. So that gave me the, thought to make a film about children working in cinema. That's how my film Children of the Silver Screen came about. Did you see the poster which Mario had drawn for me? Because Mario's head, he liked me a lot. So he did my poster for my film.
It's also so interesting that documentary ended up getting a national award.
Yeah, that was a documentary got the national award. It went over the world. It got several awards abroad. Oh, yeah, actually, that film was quite. But you see what happens. See, this is where I come in, and I didn't want to ride on it. The film was so high profile. I can't even tell you the number of festivals I've taken the film to. And then I realized, shit. Now they're inviting me, like there was this convention in Mexico about child labor. So they call me to represent India and say, child. I thought, what the fuck am I doing?
It's irrelevant.
It's irrelevant to me. I'm a filmmaker, yeah. I'm not a social activist. Let's be clear about that. So I told them, they were zapped. So what's your problem? We are paying for everything. They said, no, I refuse to do it. So I'm a little sanka in that sense. I said, I'm not doing it. I can't be. Then I've become an exploiter myself, yeah.
True.
And why the fuck should I do it? So it's like that with me, I've been always like that, yeah. I go and then it happened with making this commando. They wanted me to make 3 more commandos. I said, fuck you, yaar, I'm not interested in making 3 more commandos. Because whatever बंदर खेल जो करना था मैंने एक में कर दिया सब. उसके बाद मैं क्या करूँगा? रिपीट करना पड़ेगा ना, मुझे नहीं करने का. So they thought that I'm a चुतिया, हाराखिरी कर रहा हूँ. I said, so be it, I'm not interested. I'll take up another different subject, which I'll do. But you see, industry is such, which I learned, the film industry, they don't forgive you. If you say no to them, and especially if they are big boys, they'll ensure that they'll screw your life. They did with me. The loss is mine. Nah? At the end of the day, if you look at it, the loss is mine. But I refused to do that. Repeat myself. I didn't want to repeat myself,
So the commando story was entirely yours, or it was co-written by someone?
The proposal came from Reliance. The Reliance had their international in Hollywood. in LA, where Spielberg was on the board. So Mr. Spielberg said that we want an action hero from India, indigenous action hero, like we have, say, like Van Damme or whatever, all those people are there. But in India, we don't have an action hero. So that was a proposal which was made to Sanjeev, who was the CEO of Reliance here. Sanjeev Lamba. So Sanjeev proposed this to Vipul Shah, for whom I was making another film.
With a different script story
Completely different. So Vipul said, Dilip, what do you think about it? I said, wow, I'd love to do it, yeah. I would love to do it. It's okay, think of something. So I wrote the first draft of no brainer, yaar. Kya hai usme?
Actually, because I was meant to meet you today, I happened to watch Commando over the weekend. Now is when
I hope it was the part one.
Yeah.
Thank God.
I also saw that the filmmakers of the second and third were different. And now is why I know why it was the way it was. But now is when I get context as to why it was made with someone like Vidyut Jamal and why it had him play a certain personality.
Absolutely. Because I wanted a character. He's a commando, yeah. He's not supposed to be an actor or cracking jokes and all that. So I made him into a guy who's like a block of wood. And he played that extremely well. I was not interested to work with big star.
Yes.
Not because I didn't want to, but because they're not giving me the time. The kind of time I required for, making sure that my action was correct. And I was very clear that I don't want any duplicates. I thought to make it authentic and to be different, so that I'm able to put that title in the beginning of the film, that we have not used any whatever crap. So it was my plus point. And I found Vidyut was the only person who was good and was willing to do everything.
I think that's also the first movie in which he played the lead.
Yes.
Before that he was in Force.
Just one film, Force. That's how I got to know him, because that was Bipul's film. That's how I came to know him. And I said, it's okay, yeah. He suits my character. He's not the best of actor, but he suits my character.
He's a commando.
He's a commando. He suits me fine. And I was very happy that he came on board and we did it. Great fun making the film.
How did Jaideep happen?
Jaideep was,
Jaideep
was through a, casting director. But then I came to know Jaideep is from FTI. So it made my life easier. I could communicate in a particular way. I knew that he was accomplished as an actor. And I gave him a 2-page script and he was absolutely fantastic. The only changes I did was that because he was physically a very lanky guy, I said, how the fuck do I make him a villain with a mastunda-like thing, Vidyut? So what I did...
Can I answer that for you?
Answer me.
You made his eyes entirely white?
Yes.
Why would you do that?
To give him that extra oomph.
I'm sure but now when Jaideep looks back and sees that movie that he did, in my life I have never seen a villain with that sort of a
look,
character that has been worked around.
I played him. In fact, I spent a lot of time building that character.
Yeah, that's true. It definitely shows.
I made sure a villain who sings a song.
A Santa Banta joke every time he's getting
and Santa Banta joke and all. I mean, it was completely different. So I wanted people to get attracted to that.
Yeah.
And it happened. People were attracted to it. I made sure that he's such a lanky guy. So how does he fight the villain?
I'll fight the hero.
Fight the hero. What the hero did, if you notice the film carefully, they don't have a fight. The hero just slaps him and kicks him.
Yeah, the last scene was all about that.
It's all about slapping and kicking. Main chutiya hai tu. Because his whole persona was a fake.
Yeah, correct.
And we worked on it. People loved it. Ishan, you won't believe the impact it had with the audience, especially the Chavani class audience. It was like mind-blowing. People were breaking seats, throwing coins. So, I said, wow, people threw coins when you have some mujra or something. Here they're throwing coins at this mastunda fighting here. Those were really moments which I enjoyed.
Which is your favorite ad till date? of yours? First ad that comes to your mind that when I say Dilip Ghosh, this is your ad.
One ad which was pretty good, it was for Tata Estate car, which I made with Roshan Taneja. Roshan, his name is Roshan. The naam bhi bhul gaya.
I only know Roshan Abbas.
No, Roshan Taneja, that big actor, yeah, who played Jawaharlal Nehru in Gandhi.
Maybe.
He's a very accomplished actor. I did a film with him, like this film, which I quite liked. It's Tata Estate. That was the first time Tatas came out with a car. So I made that. I mean, many popular ads I've made. There's so many of them, yeah.
I don't know about it. I
मैं
really
कम से
want,
मैं वो तो वो पूरा मिल जाएगा आपको.
पर मैं एटलीस्ट चाहता हूँ कि आप कुछ
The whole lot of
Okay.
Cadbury's, the whole lot of Lunas, there's whole lot of Colgate, there is whole lot of Videocon, the whole lot of Toshibas. There are whole lot of so many of them. What to say and what not to say.
And whom did you work with? Like who are your peers that you work with?
I'll talk about the agencies.
Yeah.
O&M, HTA, Rediff. Just name me the agencies, I'll tell you.
Basically, at
I'll-
a point of time, you were working with almost everyone
Yeah, yeah.
back in the day.
Absolutely. And I was in the first 5. You see, interestingly, what had happened during my time, I got lots of awards in advertising films. Lots
You
of
must have been
awards.
at Goa Fest almost every.
Huh?
You must have been at every Goa Fest. You must have been at every.
Those days there was no
There
Goa
was
Fest.
no. Oh damn.
There was no Goa Fest. It was all happening in Bombay. It was different scene, you know. Like we had this IFA awards. IFA?
IFA, yeah.
IFA? IFA?
Andre Timmins and Viraf Sarkari Viscraft was doing it at that point of time.
That was later they came in.
Filmfare is being
No,
around.
no.
Filmfare wasn't there in your time.
No, Filmfare was very much there. I got the Filmfare award also.
For Commando.
Yeah. I didn't get it for Commando. Mine, for Commando, it was shortlisted.
Got it.
You know, I was shortlisted for it. I didn't get it. I got it for Children of the Silver Screen. That's another controversy. You want to hear?
Happy to. If you would like to express.
Again, involving some big guys.
Fair.
My film was selected for the best non-fiction film. Okay. And very good. They told me, you know, that you have to come for the rehearsals, to how to get up on stage and all that shit. I went through it. My seat was all booked and all that. Waiting for my award. Announcement happening. Anupam Kher is the, what do you call the MC. He announces my name to come up to the stage to take the award. At the same time, I get a chit on my table. Dilip, please don't go and pick up the award. It's my personal request to you. And from whom? So I said, what the fuck to do, man? My name is announced and he's telling me not to go. What do I do? I didn't go. I stuck there. The award, it had my name embossed. They do all that in advance, you know. And so I told him that day, let it go in the evening, the party. I said, Khalid, what the fuck was your problem here? He said, Dilip, I don't know how to say this to you, but wanted that award for his film. I said, then look, that is so big. It doesn't need an award. I'm just beginning my life in this thing. How can you just say, don't mind, forget it and all that. We'll send you your award later, which never came. And my award was taken by, I'm sure if it's in shelf, it'll have my name written on it. Part of life. What to say? There was huge amount of, demand, and the supply was less.
You were there at the right time in the right place.
Time. So, I can never hustle myself.
Correct.
People started coming. I had a very nice setup. This place called Famous Studio.
Yeah, really.
I had 4 offices in Famous Studio.
I was just there last week.
Okay.
I had 2 offices on first floor. I had one office on the 3rd floor, and the 4th office I had on the terrace, which belonged to Madhuwala. So are a big setup. I mean, as much as set up a advertising filmmaker can have. About now, I had 32 people working for me. That's pretty
You
big.
were running a full-fledged.
Yeah, production house, full-fledged. Did tons of films here. That's what I'm saying, na? Tons of films. I mean, at least over 500-600, if not more.
Are you serious?
I'm serious.
500 to 600 ad films is no joke.
I don't.
I simply
It's
can't.
not only me. Whole lot of us at that time were doing that kind of work. All of us made so many films. If not more, I'm telling you.
But what was, like every field has its own era where it was at its peak. Do you feel that that era of yours was where advertising in India peaked?
Yeah. For sure.
And if not your peers, who were your competition at that time?
Prahlad. Fuck, what's the other names? Kailash. Suraj Roy. I'm not being able to remember all the. White Lights.
What was your process like as a director back in the day when you used to come up with a certain script or a certain story? Agency used to come up with a story.
Yeah. Agencies came up
And
with
you
the
used
story.
to execute it.
No, not only execute it, used to, what should I say, do a cinematic treatment.
Exactly. You brought the screenplay to the script.
Yeah. And many a times we changed around. Of course, with the approval of the client and the agency. My forte was that. People came to me because I could take it from A to B to C to D. I don't know if you know these names like Piyush Pandey.
Yes.
Ask Piyush about me. All his films were done by me at one point. Piyush was a client servicing person. He came into the creative with all my films in it. Then later on Prasoon came. I was very closely associated with Piyush. We did a lot of work together. And what was interesting, we were a part of the gang which introduced vernacular into advertising. And I was very much responsible, Piyush was very much responsible to making sure that vernacular language was the mainstream and English was the second. And it was very successful and today is the norm. At that time it wasn't. Angrezi was the main thing. So if I had any contribution is introducing and making it popular vernacular language. Definitely.
And it was your first ad film which had a vernacular beat to
Chal
it.
Meri Luna?
That was you?
Yeah.
We left off at 600 films by Dilip Ghosh in the ad industry. That's the legacy you left behind, right?
Nobody knows about it.
Hence,
It's legacy क्या है? ये सब बड़ा word मेरे को समझ में नहीं आता. Legacy is for people who are big time artists and all that. हम क्या छोटा मोटा फिल्म मेकर है यार. क्या legacy?
I don't think आज की तारीख में मैं एक ऐसे इंसान को जानता हूँ जिसने 500-600 फिल्म्स की हैं. तो मेरे हिसाब से तो आपने एक
अरे यार वो टाइम का नॉर्म था ये. All of us made more. In fact, people like Prahlad Kakkar must have made 1,000.
I'm sure. But Prahlad Kakkar is still a name that people take in advertising.
Yes.
Piyush Pandey is still a name that maybe he's not that active or maybe he's more at a mentor level right now. He's still a name that redefined advertising in India. If I were to ask you to look at yourself in third person, who or what was Dilip Ghosh to the Indian advertising industry?
He was just a filmmaker, making advertising films. That's it. See, people like Piyush and people like Prahlad, they are advertising oriented and happen to make films. I'm just the other way around. I'm a filmmaker who made advertising films. That's the difference. Piyush was not a filmmaker. He was never a filmmaker. He was an hardcore advertising guy. That's it. So if you talk of advertising, you'll obviously talk about Piyush and all these guys. But they are not filmmakers. Prahlad indulged in both. I was just a filmmaker who happened to make advertising films. That's all. That's the difference.
So when the entire commando aspect of it came in your life, were you also making ad films at that point of time?
No.
You taken a break from it, or had you?
Yeah, I consciously decided not to make advertising film because I was burnt out here. I was not enjoying the process of making advertising films. At that particular time, I knew Peter Mukherjee. Again, he was a personal friend. I knew him, otherwise. So he told me, Dilip, why are you going through all this here? Why don't you do one thing? Let's start a television company.
Out of the blue.
Out of the blue. I said, look, I've got no background in television. I personally not fond of television. I'm basically a filmmaker. He said, no, I want a person like you. Because you are a filmmaker and you have got nothing to do with advertising, you will bring in a certain amount of freshness to television. 9 of us got together and he floated this 9X. I was one of the 9, one of the founding directors.
So is it because you were 9 is why the name 9X
Yeah,
happened?
I get the name. I was just joking. I said X-Men, there's that. 9X, chalo karte. Sitting in London, I still remember. I said, chal 9X karte yaar. They all agreed. I said, yes, let's do 9X. I said, makes sense. It has a certain dynamism to it. And we launched a television channel where we are hugely supported by Temasek. Temasek is the business wing of Singapore government.
Okay.
So they gave us a lot of money, a lot. So he said, wow. And there were 3 other smaller guys who put in money. And we had some 29,000 crores, man. Can you imagine?
Back in that day.
Back in that time. So I said, wow, let's do it. So I said, fuck, I will do it. And of course, we are getting paid very, very well at that time. So I said, fine, I'll do it. Let's do it. So I worked out a whole creative campaign there, this, that, karke. My problem is, when I want to do something, I पूरा लगन से करता हूँ मैं इधर उधर नहीं देखता हूँ. I didn't realize that all this thing was a hoax.
From day one.
It was Peter's strategy to raise money from the market, show to the world, show to the investors that we have lost money and harpao the money or tell them to give more money to make. I
Basically
didn't
siphon
know.
off the funds.
I had no idea about all these things. Came to know much later. Much, much later. I worked for 2.5 years, doing all the creative and everything. I was in LA, I was in in London. LA I was because our content partners were Warner Brothers and Disney. So I was spending time with them there almost about 8 months, And in London with BBC, working out on the creative aspect in terms of the look and all that. We were doing all that. And we launched the company. At the same time, during the launch time, one of my colleagues, he told me, Dilip, you're not a corporate guy. These fuckers are going to take you for a ride. And probably you will be the fall guy. So think about it. Again, I shouldn't take his name. He was very helpful to me. He was also one of the 9. So I said, okay, yaar, itna kuch hai, ESOPs hai. My ESOPs at that time was worth some 20-25 crores. That's a lot of money for me.
A lot of money
yaar.
back in the day, yeah.
Back in those days, so I said, just what am I supposed to do? He said, tu ek kaam kar. You consult these lawyers, some media lawyers, big boys. They'll give you the actual picture. So I went and met them and I told them, this is the case. They said, look, all the money which you're supposed to get out ESOPs is all nothing. You won't get a damn thing. You just leave the company. Just faster you can, the better. I said, I got a shock of my life. I said, what am I doing? Never expected Peter, my pal.
I was just going to ask you that.
Man.
Yeah.
You would do this to me. So I confronted Peter and I told him, boss, क्या हो रहा है? ये सब सुन रहा हूँ मैं. He said, yeah, Dilip, I don't know what to say, but this is how it is.
Did he accept it?
I mean, benefit of doubt, that kind of thing.
Basically kept it in the grey.
So, but one thing it did, I must say, That's why he's still my friend. I mean, I still consider him to be my friend. He never shortchanged me. He gave me all the money which was owed to me, plus he gave me a full 1 year's salary as a no compete with other companies. All that money was a fairly a good packet, but nothing close to 25 crores yet. So I said, fine. So I took the money and quit the company.
But from being an independent filmmaker to now making a film for a corporate, how different was the journey? Was it limiting? Was it?
No, it was limiting. I was again a little fortunate. Creatively, it was not limiting. Support in terms of what I was doing. But what was limiting was I didn't have much say in promoting the film, doing it the right way, and all that. So that was a very disappointing thing for me, because he somehow he strategically spread the rumor that he made the film. That rumor was, which I came to know again through Khalid. Khalid said, what I've been hearing about you from the industry. I said, what? That Bipul has made the film. I said, what? If Bipul had made the film, then why have I got the credit? He should take the credit for himself. Why is he giving me? He's not my uncle. What to do? So that was it. So when I came to know, I was very pissed off, and I told Bipul, kya yaar? You are such a big filmmaker. Why are you taking credit away from me? Is it fair? He didn't say anything. He just
shoot it off.
Yeah. But that spoiled my relationship with him. Not from his side, but from my side. I didn't want to work with a guy.
Left you with a sour taste.
Very sour taste, yeah. After that, I didn't do anything. So many people, including Yash Raj and all these big boys, called me and they were doing, but the best comment I got from Karan Johar's company. I gave them my script, the same old script, called India versus Pakistan. It's not a cricket match. That was the title. Fantastic. Very nice. It's all doing with counterfeit. So he liked the script and etc. etc. And then I got a call from them to meet them. I met them. They said, you're too old to make the film. I said, come again. As far as them, I'm too old to make a film. I said, I rest my case. I can't argue on this. That was that.
That story never saw its...
No, it's still with me. The script is still with me. Then UTV, those days it was UTV.
Yeah.
UTV also liked the script. So Ronnie loved the script. Ronnie wanted to make the film. Ronnie said, I want to make the film. I said, sure, let's do it. So Ronnie said, I've got one issue. The issue is I've got in-house directors. And I want my in-house director to make the film. I said, what the fuck? How can I do that? It's my script, it's my creative. He said, no, you will make the film, but the credit will go to him. I said, I've never heard of a thing like that. I will not do it. So again, if the loss is mine, I never got to do anything. They wanted that guy. Who? He didn't even know me. He didn't even... guy who made Once Upon a Time in Bombay, the director, whatever his name is. Yeah. Correct to her. Milan. They said that Milan will make direct the film. No. His name will be there as a director. You will make the film.
You basically are the Ghosh director.
As a Ghosh director with supervision from Milan. I said, क्या बक रहे हो तुम लोग यार? मैं कैसे करूँगा? Then so you give us the script. In those days, they offered me 3 crores.
Buy off the script.
Buy off the script. I said, नहीं देगा, जाओ. I should have done it. I didn't do it. So I didn't get to make the film. The film is still languishing. A few things have changed. It's become less topical. I have to change certain parts of it if I have to do it. But I made the film in the mind so many times that it doesn't matter whether I get to make the film. It's a really rocking, super rocking, super masala film. नहीं हुआ, ठीक है, क्या करेगा? नहीं रोया, छोड़ दिया. It's not that I've not had ups and downs in my life. I've had, but it didn't let me affect me. It didn't let me affect me at all. Always came out of it.
Yeah, just to probably make the mood slightly lighter.
Oh, it's very light.
No, I feel obviously our conversations has its own heavyweights and stuff. Which was your favorite movie of all time?
In terms of cinema, oh,
I know it's
many.
very difficult to point out one.
Yeah, one तो नहीं हो सकता है.
But maybe favorite Indian
What?
cinema.
Indian cinema, out of the lot, my personal favorite is Sholay.
Okay.
I like it. I also like Gurudat's that film, which I like very much.
Mother India. Both of us are wrong.
Mother India is
I'm
made
not-
not by.
I'm not
Achha, you're
a-
not. A very famous film, yeah. वक्त ने किया क्या हंसी सितम. That film, which is about a filmmaker.
Interesting.
Yeah, with Vaidya Raman and Gurudat. Kagaz Ki Phool.
Ah, yes.
That's one of my favorite films. But I also like Mother India. I also like so many. I like Pakiza. I like so many films here. How can I say I don't like this and I don't like that?
So, are you someone who also feels that OTT overall as an industry has been more of a boon rather than a bane?
100% more of a boon. For a filmmaker, it doesn't matter whether it is OTT or whether it is Raste Ka Ye or it doesn't matter.
It's the producers that
Yeah, it's their
that
trip.
complain.
As far as the creative is concerned, I would like my films to be shown to as many people as possible. It doesn't change the idiom or the language of my, narrative. It doesn't. It's the same. Even a series or serial or whatever you call it, it's absolutely possible. I would be very open to doing something like that. Only that it requires too much of a time because, but I don't know if I'll be able to hold interest for 20 hours or 30 hours or something. That's difficult. A lot of people are doing it.
But from amongst the ones that, given that we're talking about today's time and given that I am somewhere deep down rooting for another Dilip Ghosh cinema to hit our screens, whether it's today or tomorrow, who are the people whom you think you would probably want to have as your characters or as the cast in your particular flick?
In today's time, there's such brilliant actors.
Hence, why the questions come up.
See, I can't talk like that. That will be very unfair to anyone. It will depend on the subject I'm handling, the script I'm handling, and what are the characters which is suitable at that time. And for me, there is a huge, gamut of talent. Unlike earlier days, there is much more talent in today's time. So my choice becomes pretty cool.
So, you spoke about earlier days, today's days. I'm now going to keep ping-ponging between earlier days and today's days in terms of what is so different between then and now. Whether it is
Talent is
art
much more
direction.
professional, much more professional. Art direction is much, much improved. Cinematography has improved, especially with the advent of video. Cinematographers have moved leaps and bounds, not necessarily because of the cinematographer, but because of the technology.
Correct.
So that way, every department has moved a lot.
But do you think somewhere storytelling has taken a backseat in at least Indian cinema? Or
No,
maybe
not
Hindi
really.
cinema?
See, I'll tell you, like I said, there are quota of shit films, there are quota of good films. The ratio is still the same.
And when you're at the deepest end of the tunnel, where you feel that, okay,
Which side? Downside or upside?
Downside.
Downside.
what is it that you end up telling yourself that brings you back?
It will pass.
This too shall pass.
One of my real low, you want to know about my lows, was the beginning of my career, pitching, I was asked to make some series of films, advertising films, by this guy called Saeed Mirza, who loved my work and was very fond of me. And I really worked hard for that. And last minute, he said he gave the work to Prahlad Kakkar. I was so disappointed. I went to a movie hall, matinee show, which was like empty theatre, and I just cried my heart out. Honestly, I can't tell you how much. And that was my low, but it was the high for another person, Prahlad Kakkar, because he met his future wife in that shoot.
Oh, lovely.
So, you
So
know,
clearly it did play out in an
yeah,
interesting way for someone else.
जिसका
नसीब में
जो है, he married her, and she was the model.
You know, we spoke about just this one low that you happened to talk about. But you've also seen a lot of successes, and we have to be, you know, accepting of the fact that you have literally seen a lot of successes in your life. If I were to ask you today, what is the true meaning of success for you, or the true barometer of success for you?
When I got the national award, it was validated, you know. That's it. I mean, in the sense, it felt good. There was one award I went and accepted on the stage. But in the Cairo International Film Festival, my film got the best award. I didn't go. I told Shivani, you go, yeah. I was in Paris. I said, I want to chill out in Paris. So I stayed back in Paris, and she went to collect the awards. It's like that. And even in Bombay, I used to send my assistant to go and pick up the. It's not arrogance, it's just public shy, maybe.
You're always averse to probably being someone
Kind of.
which also worked in your favor or not worked in your favor at
That
most
I don't
times.
know, what it worked in my favor. But I don't mind it. But today I will not do that. Because I understood the value of collecting your own award.
और have you understood the fact कि जो दिखता है वो बिकता है?
वो है, वो तो है, वो तो है.
तो हमेशा से ऐसे ही था क्योंकि आज तो ऐसे ही है.
तभी भी था. और मैं हमेशा बोलता था मुझे बिकना नहीं है. I mean that is a personal thing, you know.
Yeah.
That's being naive and stupid. A lot of people would say, क्या यार फालतूगिरी की बात कर रहा है. ऐसा नहीं होता है. You're in advertising, you're in the show, you know, whatever. I never took it like that. I just never took it like that.
But over the years, while you were in that over 2 decades, I'm guessing,
3.
3 decades in advertising, 4 decades in advertising, did you see it really change, like the energies, the environment?
Yes.
The way.
Yes. In my times, there was no bribing,
Oh, interesting. You mean no kickbacks?
kickbacks.
Okay.
Now it is a norm. I think one of the big reason for me to leave advertising was when I started realizing all the best of productions was not coming my way. When earlier people would just go gaga over it, and I was realizing why the good works are not coming. I'm getting work, but you know, chota mota types. I was told that because people fear to ask me for kickbacks because of my seniority. And I realized कि यार हमको तो नहीं देने का है kickbacks, तो क्या करें, तो छोड़ो. And for me also मैंने पक गया था, बहुत काम किया. I was also burnt out, and I also didn't want to pay any money to anybody. तो छोड़ दिया. Are you getting the sound proper?
Yeah, I think a lot of the water droplets have reduced.
Oh hero, अब भाग.
Have you ever thought of probably contributing something back to the, to the place where you belong, which is probably Calcutta or probably the Bengal?
See, I've lost connection with Calcutta. In the sense, the only thing about Calcutta which excites me is my friends. The friends which I've had from my college days and all that. Beyond that, I have no connection with Kolkata. Because our ancestral house is there, which has been converted into a school, for poor children to study and all that. And my younger brother, who lives in Germany, he's a dancer. He's a very famous, Bharatanatyam dancer. So he's also not interested.
So somewhere your roots as such have not really been around Calcutta as much now.
Doesn't. I like Calcutta, but not for more than 2-3 weeks.
Fair.
After that, it depresses me because that negativity is too much. I love the people. People, my friends. Yeah, I've got some very good friends. For whom we have the same relationship. What is there to contribute here? I'm willing to. Contributing by teaching and mentoring young people. For me, that is my way to contribute,
Right.
So I try to put them on track, try to expand their sense of aesthetics, whatever I can do, that's what I do. And I do it with a lot of pleasure.
You know, now that I recall our entire conversation of the entire day today, I think I missed out this one aspect of your life of how was life as an individual entrepreneur. You started from being a one-person company to having, like you said, 4 offices, over 30 people. What was that journey like?
Nice, in the sense, yeah, it made me feel good. It made me feel, what should I say? I won't say the word powerful, but it gave me a lot of,
Sense of authority?
yeah, not authority is, again, authorities can be mistaken in different ways, you know, but independence, let's say. Because I was not answerable to anybody.
Right.
You know, I was doing things on my own. So that has been a big scene with me, and you know that if there is any sense of failure, if I may ask, is I'm not comfortable working under authority.
Maybe that's the rebel in you.
I don't know, whatever it is. I mean, it doesn't gel with me because it invariably gets into different thought processes, and I can't argue beyond a point. Just let it be.
Rather just get up and leave.
Because working in under someone else is I don't feel comfortable with it.
I also feel it somewhere comes from the aspect of you depending on the other person's decisions for you to take a next step.
Yeah, you know, I don't. That's the problem. I don't want to depend on anybody for decisions. It just doesn't suit me, you know, because I don't take big decisions. I really measure, do the pros and cons before I take a call, and I don't want anyone to bloody, spoke of wheeler. I mean, you know, I'm not my scene, you know. It doesn't suit me. I never thought it would be like that, but it's only when I worked with Vipul, I realized, yeah, नहीं यार,
Not my piece of cake.
not my piece of cake. होता नहीं है वैसे. वो उनके सबका अपना अपना एजेंडा रहता है यार. तो ठीक है यार, तुम अपना करो यार. मुझे क्या? I don't want to get involved in it.
For a certain producer or a certain filmmaker, not a filmmaker, but a certain partner that you feel that obviously you've been in the industry for so long, one probable partner that you'd probably want to do a partnership within for a filmmaker, for a creative process.
No, I never wanted
one that
to.
you've-
No, I don't want it to be a partnership in that sense because I've been
No, like for a certain project.
literally I've been burnt. You know, for me, as an, if I may call myself an artist, I would rather, you know, depend on my own instinct than to bank on others. And I'm not talking out of any ego. I'm talking in terms of experience. It doesn't gel that way. I'm not at my best. I'm not able to put my best foot forward if I have to be, you know, judged. It doesn't suit me at all. Which I realized. In terms of visual aesthetics, I learnt a lot from him.
I think I've finally
Give
been
up.
able to nourish myself with all that I wanted from this.
Are you sure? I don't think I've
Conversation.
scratched myself a bit. There is so much. So much.
There is so much.
Huge amount is there.
If there's one thing that you would probably, is probably deep inside that you've never spoken about, or maybe you'd want to just put it out and not carry it around within you.
Whatever I've got in myself and not talked about, I don't think it's a burden to me. I'm comfortable with it. As a person, I'm very different, you know. Like a lot of people, I've got so many secrets. It's not that I don't have any secrets, lots. But by keeping it in me, it's not a burden to me. I think there's a good reason why I like to keep those things and not talk about it.
Fair. I think, yeah. Obviously, why should one?
I don't want to because it doesn't bug me. In fact, to tell you the truth, half the things I've forgotten.
That's also quite possible.
I blame it on my old age.
You turn 70 this year?
Yeah, I'll be 70 this year. Can you imagine?
You do not behave, you do not look,
There
and
you
you
are.
do not even feel 70.
चलो और एक round of samosa हो जाए.
But honestly, thank you so much.
Thank you very much, yaar. It
for
was
taking
very
out time.
pleasurable talking to you.
And please pardon me for only being able to scratch your surface.
I know. What is this? You don't have, you have long nails. How come you didn't scratch enough? There are so many things, yeah.
Maybe we are left for a round 2.
Yes, of course you should be left for a
Sometimes.
round 2, yeah.
But
Anytime, you're most welcome.
thank you so much for being able
Thank
to
you.
contribute.
Camera
on
ko
this
cut
journey.
karega?
If you can just give me one shot on that camera and just tell us how was your experience of being a part of this episode of Hamare Zamane Mein?
So I'm really grateful to the whole team, including you, for giving me this opportunity to speak up something. There is much more to talk about, but whatever little limited time and resources you have had, I think it's been a very, very, very satisfying experience. अब बड़ा पाव खिला
100%.